Well, hello everybody, Jeanette here, and you're visiting the Neal's homestead. Fall is upon us in full swing. We've had a couple of frosts, one that was more than a frost. It was actually a hard freeze. I think it got down to 24. The first frost didn't do much to my cannas, but the second frost, as you can see, turned them all brown. And that means it's time for me to get them dug up and put them in storage because I like to save them from year to year. Well, I've already dug up quite a few and laid them out here to deal with. I've taken part of the dirt off as I've gone, but there's still some dirt on quite a few of them that I decided to let sit out here in the sun for just a little while I'm working on the rest. We watered this up pretty good a couple of days ago so that it would not be too hard to dig. It's been covered in a wood chip mulch all year, and so it's pretty crumbly under there. Nobody ever walks on this. I planted these in spring as early as I felt like I could and be safe, and then I planted other flowers around the edge, like a row of petunias and a row in a circle of salvia. Well, it wasn't long after the cannas grew up big that they totally crowded out all those other flowers, and all I was left with was a beautiful round circle of cannas. They bloomed great for me all summer. They were such a delight to me. I'm going to show you how I've been digging them up. It's pretty simple, but I'll just show you real quick. Now there are different clumps in here where I planted one rhizome and then it kind of spread out and more shoots came up. So you want to go around your clump as far as you feel like you need to, so that you don't dig into the rhizomes themselves. Now some people call them bulbs, but technically they're called rhizomes, and I am cutting a circle around it. And here's another thing. A lot of people will take a pair of clippers and clip the stalks off, like maybe 2 to 4 inches above the ground, but I choose not to do that because I can use the plant top as a handle to help me lift it out, and then I can cut it off later. Okay, when I've got it cut all the way around, I will go up underneath as deep as I can get my shovel in and lift. I can hear the roots breaking loose down underneath there. And here's where the handle part comes in. Digging these is not just a matter of coming out and pulling them up, because they make a pretty elaborate root system down underneath there. You have to dig them up in a pretty good sized clump to get them out. Okay, whenever it's finally loosened, you can see right here, this rhizome went really deep. Here's the top of the soil, and way down there in that depth of the soil is a rhizome. So that's why you have to dig pretty deep, and you have to be patient trying to get them out so you don't cut that off. It looks like I actually did cut into this one right here, and I'll see if I can find it. There it is. There's the part I cut off, but it's still got a good one on there that I'll be able to salvage. This one is cut in half, and I'm having my doubts if it will do anything. It'll probably just dry up. It has a good little bud thing on there, but I'll leave this together and see how it does over the winter, kind of do a little experiment for myself. If it starts looking bad, then I'll just cut that off right there. After you dig it up, then I start brushing off as much dirt as I can. Even though we watered, this is not drenching wet, which I think is the way you want it. There are a lot of roots that grow out from the corms or the rhizomes, and that's what holds the dirt on it and holds them down into the dirt and makes them a little bit hard to dig. Now I'm going to set this out in the sun and let it dry a little bit, and we'll show you what we'll do with it then.
We've loaded what she dug up into the trailer, and brought them over here, and I'm going to cut all the tops off about 2 inches or so long, and then I'm going to tilt my trailer back and take the hose and try to wash the dirt off of them. I'm going to let it run out here because this area in here could use some extra dirt anyway, and so we're going to try doing it that way. Hopefully the dirt will come off pretty easily, but there's quite a bit of it. We brought these rose clippers out, but I think I'm going to use my knife to cut the tops because there's a lot of pieces in each set, and I think I can maneuver my knife easier than I can the clippers. I'm going to lift my tailgate a little bit so the dirt that I wash loose and the water can run out and the bulbs hopefully won't. And then I'm going to tilt it back so it'll run out a little faster.
You mean like dump it?
I have my trusty stool so I can sit down to do this job because I can't stand up very long without my back hurt. So I use the stool a lot. And then I'm just going to sit here and hopefully wash this dirt out of the bulb. Well, you shouldn't store with the dirt on for more reason than one. You don't want them on your bulbs too much because they could hold moisture and rot your bulbs, and it takes an awful lot of room to store them if you leave all that dirt on them. So we're going to just try to get it off.
Well, while he's been over there washing those in that little trailer, I've been over here digging up the rest of these that are in this circle in our yard. Those came from our little garden patch that actually got flooded a couple times this last spring, and I think it didn't make them grow as well as they should have, but we're going to have a lot of rhizomes out of that. But I'm down to the last one here. The soil's pretty nice in here, and so I've been able to brush a lot of it off. And it looks like that's the end for this year. I've got them scattered all around the circle, getting some air and letting the dirt dry on them a little bit more. And then I'll cut the tops off and get them carried over to where he's working. Well, it looks like you're making a swamp out here.
Making a mud hole.
Well, at least it's running off into the pond. How's your progress going?
It's going much better than I anticipated. We've worked quite a bit of humus into our flower bed, and that's making it wash out reasonably easy. There's going to be a jillion bulbs when we get through, but that's okay.
Yeah.
And, they're cleaning up pretty quick. Well, I finished washing on the bulbs on our cannas, and so now I've loaded up the stems and stalks and going to take them and put them on our compost pile. We're getting a big compost pile, which is good. But anyway, that's where I'm headed now, is to unload the stems on the compost pile. We're going to pick our bulbs, our canna bulbs up now, so we got them washed out and tops off, and take them in our house. And in our spare bedroom, we're going to spread out a sheet on the floor and put these in there to let them dry. Then we can take them apart,
I'm satisfied.
get them ready for next year.